Let's do this thing. Doing like pre-game stretches. Oh. Hip rotation. Yeah. Let's do this thing. All right. We're ready. Stagg Jr., bring it on.
It's Whiskey Wednesday. I'm Dan.
And I'm Eddy.
We're the Deathless Dogs. Today, in honor of allocation season, we are drinking Stagg Jr. Somewhat hard to find, very hard to find in our area.
Right.
Bourbon. Somewhat hard to find in other places. Stagg Jr. because they also have the Buffalo Trace Antique Collection, which has George T. Stagg.
Right. Much harder to find than the Stagg Jr.
Son of Stagg. Little Stagg.
Just a small guy.
The Staglet.
Staglet, I like that.
So Eddy got this bottle somewhere.
It was in Whitefish, Montana, at a small bottle shop in a resorty style town not far from Glacier National Park.
They must do the bulk of their business on tourists.
Yes, absolutely.
Which is probably why they get some of the better stuff. Because people come through on vacation and you roll through and you're like, oh man, I'm going to buy that. I'm hanging out at a resort.
That store was stacked.
Yeah.
Like they had all the stuff. And I couldn't pass up several of the whiskeys that I purchased at that place.
I've never had Stagg Jr.
I've had it once in London at a bar called Milroy's. I can't remember much about it because I was at a whiskey bar and I went nuts and had a lot of whiskey.
Yeah, well, that'll happen. George T. Stagg was born in Kentucky on December 19th, 1835. He built the most dominant American distillery of the 19th century on the banks of the Kentucky River, known as the Gilded Age of Bourbon. This is like Age of Empires, when he like level up and his dudes like learn metallurgy and shit like that.
I think the big one that you had to learn to advance was crop rotation. I vaguely remember like that they would always say comments when you'd right click and have them go to the crops and they'd start like hoeing, and the minute they'd start doing that, they'd say, "Hurrah, would ya?"
I want to play Age of Empires, but I can't find it online anywhere. See, I don't want to play multiplayer. I just want to play by myself.
Right, you just want to go in, you want to build Dan's civilization.
Right.
What would you call yourselves?
What would I call my place?
My place would be Krogmania, and my people would be the Krogmanians.
I would just keep it very simple, and it'd just be Danland, because it rhymes.
It gets the point across.
Right. So the only time you've had Stagg Jr. is in a bar.
Never fresh bottle pop. I'm really hoping that y'all are sending us more fresh bottle pops. We've gotten a few now.
We might as well just get right into it. A rare bottle to have in this zip code.
Wait, here we go. Stagg, are you ready for this? Fresh bottle popping.
I'm going to try to inhale some alcohol vapor and open up my nose here.
Yeah, no, that actually does send like a kick, a noticeable kick in the nose department here. But also like toasted vanilla, I would say.
I'm going like a brown sugar. Brown sugar
or vanilla. Either way you slice it, we're looking on the sweeter side of the spectrum when you get through the burn that is present with the Stagg Jr.
There's a little something there, though.
What kind of proof are we dealing with?
130 and change, I believe.
Oh, so it's kicking out some heat.
Yeah, my nose sucks right now. But what is coming through, I'm getting a lot of brown sugar. And there's something else that it's like my nose is just not allowing me to smell right now.
I'm having a hard time getting through like the fact that this is 130 proof. I understand the brown sugar aspect of it. Maybe like burnt sugar, like a homemade down-home cooking type of smell. I think there is some vanilla notes to the nose.
I'd say this is a very classic smell.
And I like that. Let's clink them and drink them.
That's opening up my nose now. There's a lot of alcohol there. That's giving you from the back of the sinuses, opening it up.
You had mentioned brown sugar in the smell, and I'm getting that in the taste. Black tea with a little bit of sugar in it.
Heavy char with some brown sugar.
It's very sweet. It's very coating. I think this is a great bourbon for this time of year.
It's a good colder weather drink for sure.
It definitely has like a baked good vibe. I think the cap full of water almost gives it a caramely vanilla note. Similar to the vibes we were getting from New Riff. Very similar
I could see
smell
that.
profile.
I could see that, yeah. With the cap of water, I could see that. I wouldn't say that prior to it.
Right before I took my drink, and I was kind of smelling as I went, I got almost a raisin smell. You're getting some of those ripened vine fruits. With or without the water, I like it. Before adding the water, though, I think it was more leaning towards the baked goods, the brown sugar. So I would say that my preference would lead me to believe that I like it more without the water.
I would agree that I like it more without the water. With the water, for me, I'm not catching as much of the fruit. I'm unlocking a little more of the herbal side of things with it, I think I'm getting more of that bitter tea kind of thing you were talking about before. There is a bit of a mint. A little bit like when you do the... When you blow out, you get that little bit of that fresh...
Cooling element.
Yeah.
I actually agree with that as well.
Yeah.
That definitely lends to the herbal side, and I think it gives credence as well to the tea aspect that we've been mentioning.
One of those ones with the candy canes and the bears on it that you can buy of the celestial seasonings or whatever it is.
I like the word celestial. All in all, a very drinkable bourbon. I could see myself taking this bottle down to the bottom and looking for more, but we haven't been able to find it around these parts. $60 on our scale of would you buy it again? You can count me in.
At retail price or close to it, it's definitely worth the pickup.
This doesn't really taste to me like a lot of the different Buffalo Traces. Generally, Buffalo Trace, as does Jim Beam, as does some of the other bourbons that we've tried, kind of have like a commonality between the flavor profile. This kind of doesn't really fit the mold of a typical Buffalo Trace product.
I'm not the biggest Buffalo Trace fan. I like them, but there's other bourbons that I like more. This one goes more towards what I like in bourbon.
And I think our flavor profiles actually are significantly different. However, I think we're both finding things that we like in Stagg Jr.
Yeah, really good. Really, really good. Have you had Stagg Jr? If you have, let us know what you think. If you haven't had Stagg Jr, is this a bottle that you're looking for, that you've been in the hunt for? Also, let us know, it's that time of year. Are you guys finding some things that you wouldn't normally find on shelves? Let us know. Show us, send us pictures. What are you getting? We like to see.
Where are you getting it from?
You can DM us that information if you don't want to put it on blast to everybody. But hit that like button, as always. Hit it. It's right there.
Like zone. From the Western Wisconsin Whiskey Emporium. For ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Hunting for some Stagg.
Not Red Stagg. That's not what we're talking about.
The Kid Rock whiskey? Yeah, don't do that.